Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of the Rush Hour podcast with a very special Saturday episode. Not just one, two, three, but I've got 4 pieces of content today. Oh, you thought we weren't going to make any content because it's Saturday? The tea is flowing in the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively case involving Taylor Swift and Brian Friedman and all the characters that are involved. And the cross-fighting here in the legal documents is absolutely insane. And I'm not going to wait till Monday to sort it all out. So in this video, I'm going to share Justin's response to the insane request that Blake Lively's side is looking for, which is 2.5 years of unlimited conversations, website thoughts, what he ate for lunch, all the different things, right? So I'm exaggerating, but I'm going to share their response to that saying, this is a game you want to play? Are you going to reciprocate? Because we'll look into your side too, Taylor Swift. So it's getting pretty wild out there. And this is just the start of the day. After this, I've got a conversation with Tia Levings, who escaped a pretty crazy high control religion. Stick around for that. While it might not seem like it's related to this case, it is a real story, a New York Times best-selling memoir that was written by Tia Levings about a very harrowing and a crazy escape in really saving the lives of her family. It's a great interview I had planned for today, so I don't want to have that kind of be oversaturated by all this other content. That's coming out next, right after this. So I've got a few other stories, plus Colleen Hoover back on Instagram. We learned some of the deleted photos that she had in support of Blake Lively. What does that mean? Has she shifted her opinion? We'll have that story. And also Brian Friedman, attorney for Justin Baldoni, responding after Ari Emanuel, the boss at WME, makes fun of Justin Baldoni. So I got that for you. Stick around. Hang on. It's a lot. So as we cover this story right now, we have to understand what we just covered this past week. Blake subpoenaed Justin's phone. Okay, normal stuff. Justin responds to subpoena. Say, hey, this is a massive fishing expedition. It goes back and forth, and that's where we land on the actual documents that we're about to share with you. Umbrella Guy, friend of the program, says Blake Lively wants 2.5 years of Justin Baldoni. Calls, texts, real-time location. Watch. It's all because she's attempting further character assassination since her Me Too claims didn't end him. Now, as we know, she claims he harassed her, SH, right? And that's really the big story. But she's also going to claim that he was part of a smear campaign. He's going to argue that was in retaliation. We were just planning a retaliation if you were going to come after me. So it's really going to be a lot to untangle here. Here's what Justin Baldoni's side had to say on Valentine's Day, nonetheless. Dear Judge, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movies, Melissa Nathan, Agency Group, Jennifer Abel, collectively the Wayfarer parties. We write to raise a discovery dispute concerning flagrantly overbroad subpoenas served by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, aka the Lively parties. Earlier this week, the Lively parties issued subpoenas to cellular providers AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. The subpoenas seeking all documents concerning ingoing and ongoing calls or text messages related to the phone number belonging to each of the individual Wayfarer parties, some of their employees, and various non-party individuals, including but not limited to call logs, text logs, data logs, and cell site location information. The subpoenas seek such information over a period of multiple years, in most cases spanning from December 1st, 2022 to the present. Now, luckily, any phone calls made to T-Mobile probably didn't go through. Okay, that's a T-Mobile joke. I'm kidding. I actually have T-Mobile. I think they've been great. To be quite honest, I went from Verizon to T-Mobile and I've saved myself literally like $75 a month. Whatever. Hey, Mint Mobile's pretty cheap too. Do what you want with that. I don't know. Maybe you'll get sued. Who knows? You join Mint Mobile, you get accused of things. All right, so let's keep it going. It is hard to overstate how broad, invasive, and atypical these subpoenas truly are. And by the way, the judge will know. I mean, a layman like me, I don't really know what's going on, but a judge will know, hey, this is too much. They are asking for too much, and we'll have to see. This is civil litigation, not a criminal prosecution, and the Lively parties are not the FBI. Yet the subpoenas seek not only the complete call and text history of each of the targets over a period of several years, no matter the sender, recipient, or subject matter, but also over the same period, real-time location information in data logs reflecting, among other things, web browsing history. This would include, of course, materials protected from disclosure by a laundry list of statutes and privileges, among them the attorney-client privilege, the spousal privilege, and the physician-patient privilege. Moreover, the information sought by the subpoenas is wildly disproportionate to the needs of the case and unnecessarily invades the privacy of untold members of third parties, including family, friends, business partners, and quite literally any other person with whom any of the targets have communicated with over a period of years. And the real bottom line is we're going to find out what kind of porn people are searching. That's what we're going to find out. Oh, why are you watching the Barcelona track and field competition on YouTube? Why are you watching pole vaulting? Well, I got a thing for pole vaulters. It's the, whatever. You're going to find out a lot of information here. The lively part, I don't have a thing for pole vaulters. I just use that as an example. I don't want any pole vaulters to come after me. The lively part, male or female, as we saw this past year in the Olympics, that one guy, his pecker brushed up against a pole and it knocked the pole over. You know what I mean? Hey, you got to live by the sword, die by the sword. What are you talking about? The lively parties, highly experienced counsel. And by the way, people are going to be Googling that now. Honestly, could you imagine the things that I search on my phone? Not just for the podcast. I search the weirdest things. I want to know, can a mongoose, you know what I mean? I heard a rumor that vanilla extract comes from expressing the anal glands of beavers. I Googled that. I don't need you to know that I Googled that. So I'm just saying, there could be some weird things that come up. And the answer is yes, you can get vanilla from extracting beaver butt. Do whatever you want. Maybe you're drinking a vanilla latte, whatever you want. It's worth it, if you ask me. The old vanilla butt juice. The lively parties' highly experienced counsel are surely well aware that the subpoenas they issued grossly exceed the scope of permissible discovery, as outlined in Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, which limits discovery to any non-privileged matter that is relevant to any party's claim or defense and proportional to the needs of the case. Unfortunately, it appears that these subpoenas are, more than anything else, a media ploy, having been promptly leaked alongside a lengthy and combative statement by the lively parties' legal team. The Wayfair parties are not remotely concerned about the lively parties' public statement, however hypocritical, and do not object to their use of third-party discovery tools. The Wayfair parties are using such tools themselves, albeit in a far narrower and legally permissible fashion. So as far as third-party discovery tools, is he talking about speaking to the press and public statements? However, the Wayfair parties are deeply concerned that the lively parties are intimidating third parties into providing information about our clients and various non-parties, far beyond what is appropriate or even legal in civil litigation, including spousal communications, medical information, attorney-client communications, and real-time location information, among other things. The subpoenas constitute a flagrant abuse of the discovery process and, if allowed to stand, set a precedent that, once their bluster dissipates, we are confident the lively parties' counsel will not be prepared to accept when it comes to the scope of discovery into their own clients' private information and communications. That's interesting. Let's read that one more time. It's a flagrant abuse of the discovery process. If allowed to stand, it'll set a precedent that once their bluster dissipates, we are confident the lively parties' counsel will not be prepared to accept when it comes to the scope of discovery into their own clients' private information. I mean, who's Ryan Reynolds texting? You know what I mean? Didn't he meet Blake while he was still married to Scarlett? I mean, maybe there's something going on over there. And by the way, and again, we'll have to see how this all plays out, but I finally watched It Ends With Us. I've watched it in bits and pieces. And Ryan Reynolds seems to me like the guy, like the Ryle character, possibly getting jealous of, it's just art, imitating life, really. This afternoon, we conferred in good faith via telephone with the lively parties' counsel regarding the subpoenas, but were unable to resolve the dispute. I'd like to subpoena for that phone call. This matter is highly time sensitive, as certain of these cellular providers have already indicated they intend to comply with the subpoenas. The Wayfair parties therefore request Your Honor's attention at the soonest possible opportunity. Copies of the subpoenas will be filed under seal, seal, that is a term, not the singer, the guy that was in the Super Bowl commercial, with the requested redaction. By the way, you cannot make vanilla from the anal glands of seals. I'm almost sure of that. But I still stand by the beaver butt thing. Google it. Leave a comment. Solely, it's very expensive. I think you got to go to Madagascar to get it. Very expensive. Solely of telephone numbers highlighted. Pursuant to Your Honor's procedures for sealed and redacted filings, we request that the court approve such redactions. Respectfully submitted. Mitchell Schuster of Meister, Seelig, and Fien. So I guess this is a different, they're also working with Brian Friedman. So are they the B team? I don't know. Either way, there's the email addresses. They are ready to go. So can you imagine that? Wife's, trying to get ready for Valentine's. Where are you taking me to dinner? Honey, I'm sending out this subpoena. Hey, you got to work through this stuff. And by the way, I thought it was interesting. I got a response from one of our lawyer friends who said, hey, this judge isn't messing around. You know what? Why don't I just share that with you? Check this out. I get so many great emails from some of these lawyers that have been following my channel, and some of them are just so funny. I'll tell you this. So many lawyers are so good at their emails and getting their humor across. So this is from one of our lawyer friends, name redacted. And this, of course, was after the judge had decided to not give them the full extension that Blake Lively's side wanted. As we explained earlier, the judge told them all explicitly on February 3rd that he didn't want to see the litigants adding new parties or bringing new related lawsuits or have counsel suing each other. No satellite litigation. He said we have enough allegations and parties here to sort through, and you're either settling all or part of claims between all or some of the parties, or going to trial with any remaining counts and parties in March of 2026. What did Blake's counsel ask for? An extension to add counts and parties. FAFO, just nope. Cancel your Valentine's Day dinners and ski trips, counsel. Filings are due on Monday. The Texas crisis management guy was not a named party represented in the courtroom on February 3rd. Thus, he was not subject to the judge's order. His case may or may not be consolidated with the others for judicial economy if the facts and parties are sufficiently connected, that being Jed Wallace. So I love when you guys write in. You guys have been fantastic. All the lawyers and pundits that have covered this case. And honestly, it really, for me, I got to rise up to your level of intellect, legally speaking. I never will. I'm not claiming I want to be a lawyer in any way whatsoever. Although I did stand in for the main guy on Suits for the pilot episode. Okay, so I know a thing or two. I've dabbled in a background work on Law and Order. Okay, so call me Brian Friedman of the YouTube world. Either way, Justin responds, we'll have to see what the judge says. I mean, the judge is going to set the tone. Is the judge going to say, no, we can only subpoena what was said between these people, between these dates? Again, we'll have to see. Either way, Taylor Swift, get the iCloud passwords ready. We're coming for you. Can't shake off this one, baby. All right. And I like Taylor Swift, but let's see what they're sending. Maybe Taylor Swift and Justin Baldoni were texting. Could you imagine? Can we subpoena Colleen Hoover? I'd like to know what she's been up to. Can we just start doing that? Can I get ring camera footage of everyone's front doors? I need to know what they're ordering Postmates-wise. And by the way, if you were wondering, I was right about the beaver butt thing. This is from SmithsonianMag.com. You can squirt castoreum out, wildlife ecologist Joanne Crawford told Molly Bluedorf-Indelico of Natural Geographic back in 2013. It's pretty gross. The substance can also be harvested from dead beavers if their castor sacs are removed and left to dry. In the early 20th century, castoreum began appearing in some foods to add a vanilla raspberry flavor. Oh, a vanilla raspberry. Now, I'm not saying your vanilla is made that way, but if you stumble across one of them beavers and they look like they got a full sack of that good smelling raspberry stuff, spread a little bit on your treats there if you're hiking, or not. I don't know. Either way, there's your useless information for trivia night. I've got it for you. All right, we got a lot of content coming your way. If you're not already, make sure you're subscribed. We'll be back with more right after this.